Greetings, Jackets. I'm Michael Belk. I'm your principal here at Buford High School. We wanted to take the opportunity as an administrative team to talk to you as virtual students and welcome you back as virtual students, but more importantly, welcome you back as Buford High School students. Regardless of where you're learning from and where we're teaching you from, you are always part of this Yellow Jacket family, and we just want to make sure that we took just a few minutes to talk to you and welcome you back, much that we had the same opportunity to do with our in-person students this week. So again, I'm Michael Belk. I'm your principal. I'll let our other administrators introduce themselves to you.
Hey, my name is Miss Long. I'm the 9th and 12th grade assistant principal. I look forward to supporting all the virtual students, even from home. So if you need anything, just call and ask for Miss Long.
Hey, it's Mr. Orr. I do 10th and 11th grade and can help out anybody as well. Thank you.
All right, awesome. So what we wanted to really take the chance to do is walk our virtual students through a lot of information, really some expectations that we have for our students. We had the chance this week to meet with our in-person students, but y'all know how we do here. Those of you that are sophomores, juniors, and seniors, we really like to make sure everybody hears that one voice and that we're all working from the same page of music. So we want to take the chance to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through some slides. Ms. Long's going to put that presentation up for us, and you'll begin to see some slides as we talk through some key points as we start the 2020-2021 school year. All right. So at this point, of course, welcome. You all are what are called our synchronous virtual students. You might not have known that. The word synchronous doesn't mean a whole lot, doesn't really need to mean a whole lot, other than you are logging in for live instruction to us and following our bell schedule during the day. We are proud so far. Our A-Day students have gone through that, along with our C-track or virtual students, and that's gone real well this week. But we want to take an opportunity to talk to you individually as virtual students. So we've already introduced ourselves as administrators, and I want to really take a minute to talk about this, okay? And I know you're looking, Mr. Bell, why are you showing us a map? All right, for those of you that know me, I always talk about beginning with the end in mind. And when I welcome our classes in each year, I start with this. And I think it's really important to know that you always have to begin with the end in mind. And that's got to start now for each of us as students here at Buford High School. I always say, look, if I want to go somewhere, but I hop in the car and I have no clue where I'm going, I'm sitting idle, I'm wasting gas, because there's no purpose behind me getting in the vehicle. However, if you have the end in mind, I'm going to Los Angeles. That means that I have to set targets of where I'm going to get to in day one, how I'm going to get there. I not only have that goal of getting to Los Angeles, my purpose in that car and every time that I'm driving forward has a meaning, has intent, has purpose. And I always say that because this year more than ever, we have to have that end in mind and know where we're trying to get to as students. I always challenge us that we'll be those ideal Buford graduates, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But it's really important to acknowledge that we have to start. We have to have a vision of where we're trying to go so that I have a reason to have to log in at 9:30 for my first block class. I have a purpose for having to do the learning assignments that are in my classrooms. Every moment of the day has a purpose, because it's helping me fulfill that vision for myself, my why, okay? Now, I do want to acknowledge that our purpose is to get you to this point. This was our college and career and military signing day 2 years ago at this point. And if you look at that beautiful maroon and gold, everybody's decked out just prior to graduation. And this is where everybody's stating their intention. They're signing on a dotted line of what they're going to do next after they have left the four walls of Buford High School. And I'm real proud of this, because one of the things we always challenge our Jackets to do is better yourself in your future by what you do here and what you've taken advantage of as an opportunity while you've been here. Okay, so these folks are either going on to college, career, the military, and they're signing that pledge to do great things afterward. This is our end for you, okay? And one of the things we want to look at and acknowledge is, going back to the previous slide, that map this year more than ever we'll have some challenges. This year more than ever, that map of getting from point A to point B, getting across that stage, getting to the point where you're that ideal Buford graduate, will have probably more obstacles than we've ever had before. We've never had to have remote or virtual learning. We have never had to experience having part of our students here, part of y'all at home, learning from the safety of that environment. One of the things I want to tell you is this year is going to be extremely important when it comes to how we work through those challenges. Y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. Although these times are challenging, y'all are going to face more challenges in your life. Everybody as a student and as well as our staff members are going to have times where there's great challenges that pop up. But it's how we work through those challenges. It's how we persevere and overcome those challenges that will matter most. And my charge is to equip you with how you will live your life after you leave the walls of Buford High School while you are here present within our building or at home. So with that being said, our theme for this year is to see the opportunity. We'll have wristbands for you. We'll get them to you somehow like I've done in the past of see the opportunity because you matter, okay? When you look at it, my challenge to you is to see the opportunity to do your absolute best. See the opportunity to persevere. But these are some statements that I've shared with our students and staff here so far this year that will guide our efforts together to overcome those challenges that stand ahead of us. First, choose to live by grace, not by perfection. We're all going to make mistakes during this time period. Doing things we've never had to do, hey, that's going to lead to some discomfort. That's going to lead to some failure. But remember that that's okay. Part of life is living by grace, not by perfection. We're going to be all right, and we're going to be better because of it. Next statement says, focus on what you can control. Start small, work hard, do your best. Man, in life, if that's what you got working for you, you're going to be in a great spot. Fail forward. Remember, fail stands for first attempt in learning. Do not be overwhelmed by failure. Instead, overcome it because that's part of how we learn. That's part of how we grow. All right? The fourth statement says, embrace the grind. Hey, we know it's real. And when you add to it some of the stresses and anxiety that could come with these changes and challenges, that becomes even more real. But let's be mentally prepared for it. Let's be prepared and see the opportunity to be there for each other, to be there for ourselves, and overcome that grind and work through it. Remember, you matter. You matter today. That was our theme last year. To be honest, everybody, I had a real tough time moving away from that one to see the opportunity this year. But remember, you matter. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we're going to do great things together. Okay? So I need us to really work together and see the opportunity. All right? That's going to be very important as we progress and move forward. And the reason I really want everybody to understand that is we're not pressing pause as a school. I've told our staff, and I think as students, I've always been transparent and told you the same thing that I tell our staff. One of the things I've always said to y'all, the students, is I'll never apologize for having high expectations for you. However, I will ensure that I provide you with the staff that will support you along your journey, okay? We're not pressing pause. We're still working to build the ideal Buford graduate, one that is equipped with world-class knowledge, world-class skills, and character. Our job is to make sure that we build the ideal Buford graduate, okay? One of the things that we always say is I want you to be proud that when you do walk across that stage, whether it's the class of 2021 or our freshman class of 2024, I want you to be proud that when I hand you that diploma on that last Friday in May, that diploma stands for so much more than just a piece of paper. That it stands for the commitment that you made. It stands for the jacket pride that you've shown to get to the point where you're ready to take on the challenges and excel in those challenges that the world has to offer after you graduate from Buford High School. So with that being said, our job here is to make sure that we support you on your journey, get you towards your goal, and make sure that we fulfill our vision for you and partner with you to do that. Okay? So now more than ever, what we want to do is walk through some expectations for you, especially as virtual students, because we want you to continue to have academic excellence. The reason I said we're not pressing pause is because nobody's going to be able to go back 10 years from now and say, well, you know, COVID's the reason why I wasn't as successful as I could be. You can do that, but that's going to be a victim attitude. We are still pushing forward, but we are here to support you in how to achieve academic excellence, how to achieve excellence in attendance and meet our expectations. And that's really why we wanted to invest this time in this presentation today. Because I don't want you to come back and say, you know what, Mr. Belk, you didn't push me through that COVID, didn't expect the same things of me under COVID. And for that, I wasn't prepared, didn't excel the way that I could have. For that reason, we're going to push forward. We're going to keep charging forward, but we're here to support you along the way. So I am at this point going to turn it over to Ms. Long and Mr. Orr. And remember that what we're walking through is for the purpose of allowing you to be successful in spite of the circumstances, because that's what life is all about. Everything we're offering to you is to help you get on the right track and stay there. So I'm going to turn it over to them. Thank you so much for your time. Go Jackets.
All right. Hello, Yellow Jackets. Mr. Orr and I are going to go through the next few slides and really just kind of share some of our expectations with you. Like Mr. Belk said, all of this is to ensure, number one, your safety, and number two, that we are fulfilling the expectation of you walking across that stage and having that world-class knowledge, the skills, and the character needed for life after high school. Okay, one thing I'm going to talk about real quick is just the COVID tracks. When you received your schedule, you saw these tracks on your schedule. So I just kind of want to make you aware of what they are. So A track are in-person students on Monday and Tuesday. C track is our virtual students for Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so if you are C track, you're expected to attend virtually to each of your classes during the assigned block. Okay, the opposite of that is our B track students who attend in person on Thursday and Friday. And then our D track students attend virtually to each block on Thursday and Friday. The other 3 days, all students, no matter whether they're in person or virtual, are completing the at-home continuous learning that's posted in Google Classroom. Okay, and I'll talk about that more in just a minute. Okay, so specifically to the virtual students, I just kind of went through, just be sure the expectation, if you're C track, is that you are signing in via Google Meet at the beginning of each of your blocks. Attendance will be taken for each block. Okay, so attendance will be taken on, if you're C track, at the beginning of each block on Monday and Tuesday. If you're D track, attendance will be taken at the beginning of each block on Thursday and Friday. So it's really important that you're signing in for each block at the assigned time. Okay, when I say sign in, I mean sign into your Google Classroom and click the Google Meet link that your teacher has provided in the Google Classroom. Okay, attendance will be taken each of the 5 days. I'm going to go more in depth on attendance in just a minute. All teachers will have office hours daily to answer your questions or to communicate with you or your parent or guardian. Okay, and with the virtual learning, obviously the learning has to continue. Like Mr. Belk said, we're not pressing pause. So new instructional content will be taught, work will be graded, and attendance will be taken. So we're trying, even though you're virtual, we are trying to keep the normalcy of the school day. All right, just some more general COVID information before we get into more specific details. On Wednesdays, students can come to the building at the teacher's discretion. A scheduled appointment / meeting time will be provided for students if this need arises. However, much of what needs to be done can also be taken care of through Google Meet. Okay, so for your safety, if you need that extra help, that's what Wednesdays are for. Okay, so communicate with your teachers and they will probably ask you if Google Meet's okay. If Google Meet is not okay and you need in-person help, they will give you an appointment time, okay? But Wednesdays are by appointment only. And please note that students and parents coming to an appointment on campus on Wednesdays must follow the COVID procedure of wearing a mask and having their temperature checked. Okay, so that's the COVID procedure that all students are following prior to entering the building. So that will be the same expectation if our virtual students enter the building. All right, as most of you know, Google Classroom will be used as our learning platform, and Google Meet specifically will be used for our virtual students. So that's how attendance will be taken, is you logging on to that Google Meet on your assigned days. Two things I want to touch on real quick. You are expected to show your face during the Google Meet. Okay, so just like at the beginning, how we were showing each of our faces before we started presenting, that is an expectation. Okay, that's to be sure that the teacher can see that you're actively engaged in the content, just like they can see your face in the classroom. Okay, again, we're trying to remain normal despite all of these circumstances. Okay, so you will be expected to show your face. Now, I believe it defaults to your avatar or your picture. So you'll just need to make sure on the Google Meet that you press the camera icon, and that will allow you to show your face. Okay, if you have any questions about that, feel free to contact the front office and I can help you with that.
Mr. Orr.
I apologize. All right, continuing on. Formal and informal assessments may be completed at home and in person. It is the expectation that you are using your Chromebook to log on to your Google Meet. For that reason, students can take assessments because teachers can monitor by using Dino which tabs you have open, okay? No clubs, field trips, dances, performances, or after-school programs for first semester. Once again, due to our safety protocols, and clubs will be able to meet during flex time. So when you hopefully are back on campus in the spring, we'll introduce flex time to you. Okay. Y'all hear us talk about this each year. We first want to talk about the why before we go into the details. So before we really harp on attendance, we want to talk about the importance of it. Okay. Students are more successful in school when you attend every day. Okay. I think that's a give me. There's nothing more in life than just showing up. Okay. That's the first step in success, is just showing up. Okay. So attendance is very important. Also, it prepares you for the real world. Okay, that's a number one expectation for any career, is that you show up every day and be there. So for us, a student is allowed 3 absences in half-unit classes, for example, government econ, and 6 absences in unit classes. If your absence is medical, please make sure the front office has that medical excuse so that we can code it as medical. If you have more than 6 unexcused absences, you will owe recovery. All right, so I talked about attendance a little bit. Attendance will be taken all 5 days, and that's for every student. It doesn't matter if you're a virtual student or an in-person student. So it's very important to understand that you're expected to attend school on your assigned day through the learning option that you chose or that you were assigned. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example here. If I'm a C-Day student, I have to log on to each block via Google Meet on Monday and Tuesday. Okay. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday would be my at-home learning. For the at-home learning days, you don't have to log into each class via Google Meet. However, you must log on to each of the Google classrooms and complete the assigned work for each day. Okay. Attendance will still be taken for your 3 at-home learning days, even though you're not logging on to your Google Meet. So it's very important that you're logging on and submitting those assignments every day, because that's how teachers are taking attendance for the at-home learning days, whether you submitted your assignment for that day or not. Okay. And to the point of making sure that you attend on your assigned day. If you're a C-Day student, you must log on Monday and Tuesday. You don't have the ability to switch that to Thursday and Friday one week. Okay. So make sure, unless it's communicated and approved by the administration and nurse. So make sure you're logging on via Google Meet on your right track. All right, I've already touched on the first bullet. The second bullet, we just wanted to make students and parents that are watching aware that teachers are expected to reach out to parents if contact has not been made with a student for 3 consecutive days. Okay, again, contact can be in the form of submitting an assignment or responding to an email or responding to a Remind app. Whatever your teacher's method of communication is, be sure that your child is submitting assignments and responding to that communication, because if they are absent for 3 consecutive days, you will be getting a phone call. If teachers still have not heard from them for 5 consecutive days, they will then get administration involved along with Officer Howe. Okay, and our reasoning for that is just to make sure that we're not losing track of any of our students. We want all of you to be prepared. Okay, we want all of you here at school. We wish we could have everyone here and everything be normal, but that's not the circumstance. But we still want to make sure that you're logging on and doing your schoolwork. Just a few statements about recovery. Attendance will continue to be monitored in an effort to ensure students have not exceeded the number of absences. However, now more than ever, it's important to communicate any health concerns. Tardies. So again, the why behind tardies, very similar to attendance. Not only do you have to show up, but you've got to show up on time. Okay, this prepares you for the real world as well. When you get a job, you've got to show up on time for that job. You guys know our tardy policy. We operate increments of 4. The third one, you get a parent contact, and then the fourth one comes to administration and you get a consequence issued. One thing I want to hit on with tardies is that we still expect our virtual students to be on time for their class. Okay, so if my first block starts at 9 o'clock, I'm expected to log on my Google Meet at 9 o'clock. If I log on my Google Meet at 9:30, then I'm tardy. And teachers are still going to keep up with that. The reason behind that is because that 85 minutes in that class is vital. So you've got to be there on time, signing onto your Google Meet so that you can hear all of your instructions for the day. And I'm sure your teachers have already explained to you, you don't necessarily have to be logged on to your Google Meet for all 85 minutes of that block. It's up to your teacher's discretion. But it is imperative that everyone begin the block logged on. Okay, so if you're not logging on time, you could miss all of your instruction. Okay, so be sure that you're logging in on time, and teachers are going to keep up with the tardies, even though you're virtual.
All right, dress code. Yes, please follow the dress code, even virtually. I know some of you are saying, but I'm at home, I can wear whatever. Remember, you will be on the screen, and your teacher will be able to view you. Let's be professional and appropriate. We talked about earlier about the form, the expectations of the South Carolina high school graduate. And there was something under there. I don't know if some of you paid attention, but it said something about work ethics. And so when you look at work ethics, even in a job situation, they expect you to show up in dress code, be there on time. So with that being said, the big item with dress code, once again, we'll follow the same one we're here as you're here in person. No tops that expose the stomach, show cleavage, are too tight, see-through, or strapless. No tank tops, make sure your shoulders are covered. No leggings. If you wear a top with leggings, the top can be no shorter than 4 inches. No skirts, dresses, slits, or shorts that are shorter than 4 inches above the knee. No bottom with holes in that show skin 4 inches above the knee. No undergarments should be visible. Preparing you for the real world. Most jobs have a dress code or require you to wear professional attire. No hose in jeans, no leggings. Cell phones. I know you're saying, what about cell phones at home? I know you guys a few minutes ago you saw that we had a mild distraction where we had a radio go off. It's the same way with cell phones, guys. We ask that you give your undivided attention during your classroom instruction, even though it's virtually. So cell phones are to remain off and not visible during instructional time unless the teacher gives permission for instructional purpose. If you violate the cell phone policy, we have the following consequences. I'm sorry. I guess you guys are saying really that doesn't pertain because we're at home, but we just ask that you leave the cell phones off and out of view and that you don't have distractions during your classroom time and period virtually. Bullying and social media. Now, that can be done through the cell phone as well as your Chromebooks. No acts of harassment, and the same as you guys, some of you were told that were here last year. No acts of harassment, bullying, or intimidation will be tolerated. These acts will include any act that interferes with or disrupts a student's ability to learn and the school's responsibility to educate its students in a safe and orderly environment. Any student who feels he or she has been subjected to harassment, intimidation, or bullying should notify a staff member immediately. Anything that is done, including social media, even outside of the school day, can be punishable if it interferes or disrupts the learning environment at school. That means social media, that means Snapchat, Cat Chat, whatever it is that you're using to do anything that's bullying on social media. Even on the weekends, we will investigate and we will take action if needed.
I want to kind of add to that real quick. One of the things to be mindful of is in your Google Meet. You know, one of the things that you're realize and remember, you're not able to take pictures of individuals like in classrooms and remember, and we want to be real clear, that would be the same in your Google Meets, okay? So we wouldn't take pictures and share pictures out if we were in the building because we know that wouldn't follow our discipline code. But remember, that's true in your Google Meets too. Again, this is new for us all, but we want to be clear with you all so that you don't get into that situation where we didn't at least tell you that. So you wouldn't take a screenshot and manipulate pictures of any Google Meets and your fellow classmates or teachers because we wouldn't want to then have to deal with the consequences of that, even though you're virtual students.
Progress reports will not be printed and given out to you. Instead, a Connect Ed message will go home on the designated progress report date, instructing parents to check Power School in order to check grades. Teachers will update grades every Thursday.
All right, and I've included this FAQ for the virtual students on this slideshow. This FAQ is also on our Facebook page as well as our homepage. We have touched every item that's on this FAQ, but if you ever need some information, that's a good place to start. And then if you don't get it answered in this video, that FAQ, please feel free to contact the front office.
All right, so kind of putting a little bow on our time together today and wrapping up, one of the things that we did want to mention to you is something that will be new for you all when we do return to campus. And the hope is that that's this spring semester. We have introduced what's called flex time to our in-person students thus far. And this is a time of the day that we'll walk through that schedule. It's really in between third block and fourth block, a 30-minute block of time that helps really support our students. You heard me say a little bit ago, I as a principal will never apologize for having high expectations for you, but I will always ensure that myself, this administrative team, and our teachers and staff all support you in reaching those. And this is our attempt to do that. Okay, last year we had the after-school program that was an effort to do that. This year we cannot have an after-school program due to the circumstances. So our job is to build something into the school day that can help continue to build those world-class knowledge, skills, and character in you each day that you're here, okay? So with that being said, one of the things that we're going to do daily is ensure that our students from 1:30 to 2 in the spring. Again, this is if you are here back in the spring, we're back to our regular schedule that we would do in between third and fourth periods. That you as students have the opportunity for extra remediation and support. Maybe you need to take a retest, get some extra tutoring, make up missing assignments. Maybe you just need to study for a test or prepare and organize yourself for the rest of your week and your upcoming days. Maybe you want to attend a club meeting that's able to be held. We might have, like we did this week, an opportunity to have assemblies with our students that doesn't impede on your other classes and take away from the essential time with your teachers. Maybe you need computer lab access. We have some seniors that will be filling out college applications and even FAFSA forms later in the spring. Maybe you want to check out a book. The point is that there will be flexible opportunities for you during the school day to take care of so much of what needs to be done as students here at the school, okay? Now, students will have an opportunity to choose unless two factors take place. One, if I want to go to a teacher who I have a great relationship with and say study and get prepared and organize myself, but their room has 15 or more students in it, and under normal circumstances it'd be 25 or more students, they will put a reach capacity sign on their door and you'll have to find somewhere else to go. All right, we're working through some procedures with that. So that would limit your choice if that were to take place. The other thing that would limit your ability to choose where you go during that flex time would be if you have a D or an F. If that's the case, that's kind of that little thing that shows us that you're struggling a bit. You need the extra support. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with where you start. It's about where we finish. That's what life's about. So how do we help you get to where you need to be using that 30 minutes daily? That's when your teachers will be assigning you to go to their rooms to get the support you need to get on the right track and get you at that above average or average grade to keep pushing to do your best, not the least, okay? So just know that that's something that we will talk more with you about. It's not so much relevant right now for you virtually, but it will be very relevant for you when we return, and we just thought it would be good for you to begin to learn more about that, all right? At this time, we have a brief video from Ms. Coffin on the behalf of guidance that we'd like to share with you.
Good afternoon, Beaufort High School. My name is Lisa Coffin, and I'm one of the school counselors here at Beaufort High School. On behalf of the counseling staff, I want to welcome each and every one of you to the 2020-2021 school year. I would like to take a moment just to introduce the staff to each and every one of you. Most of you know who we are. Ninth graders, I know this will be new for you. And hopefully, as we're throughout the building, you will be able to put a face with a name. Now, Miss Erin Watts, she is actually one of our counselors that works with those students with the letters last name is A through L. I actually work with students M through Z. We also have Paula Stigall. She is our testing coordinator, our career specialist, and she's also a school counselor as well. Miss Dale Walker, she is our registrar. She is actually the person that you will see when you first walk into guidance. So to us, we call her the face of guidance. And then new to our staff this year, and we're so excited about having this young lady on board. Her name is Miss Jamie Hunn, and she will actually be our college advisor for this year. And we're very excited about what she will do with our juniors and our seniors this year. And her plans are really to work with everyone. Now, even though Ms. Watts and I may have a caseload, we work with all students. So just like Ms. Long and Mr. Orr told you yesterday, their doors are open. Our doors are open as well. We also know that during this time, the way counseling is going to work is going to be very different. And we want you guys to really be very understanding and, like Mr. Belt talked about yesterday, give us a little grace. What we would like for you to do is that if you would like to meet with Ms. Watts or myself, then we would like for you to email us and let us know that you would like to meet with us. We will be glad to set up a Google Meet. We will do a phone conference if we need to. If there's things that we can do through email, we will be glad to do that as well. Now, we also know that sometimes just seeing someone through a screen like we are right now is just not what you need. And if that's the case, and you are a face-to-face student on an A day or a B day, simply let your teacher know that you need to come to guidance. And they will write you a pass, and we will see you when you come in. Now, for the A day students and the B day students, you guys, when you, A day, you've already received yours, B day, you will be receiving yours on Thursday. But each of you have received your transcripts if you are 10th grade through 12th grade. Please look over those transcripts very carefully, make sure that everything has been recorded, especially those of you that have taken dual enrollment classes. So please look over those. Those of you that are viewing this virtually, then if you would like to receive your transcript, if you will email Ms. Watts or myself, we will be glad to get that information to you through email. Now, there are a few things that I would like to show you at this time, and it's looking through the school's website. So I'm going to turn to present now, and I'm going to show you my screen. Now, if you guys will go to the school's website, you will notice that there is a guidance tab in the middle, right at the very top. It's not really the middle, but it's at the very top. And this is where you will find a lot of information as far as guidance is concerned. Our email addresses, transcript requests, those types of things. Now, what I also want to mention to you guys is that you will also notice if you scroll down, you will see a class change link. There are some of you that still need to change your classes, and if you need to do so, we ask that you use this link and complete this Google form. And Ms. Watts and I are working on those. Make sure that you check your email, because we will email you with the changes that we have been able to make. Now, once you click on the guidance icon, this is the very first screen that you will come to. And if you will notice, it's our counseling department's website. It's our home screen. And you will see there, it says, please email your school counselor to schedule a Google Meet appointment as needed. We want to be here for you guys because we know you guys need us, during different times of the day. Now, if you will notice, there is all of our email addresses, our direct lines are here. Any senior or anyone that is dealing with dual enrollment, down here is actually where you will actually click to request your transcripts to be sent. If you need immunization records sent, birth certificates, anything of that nature, this is where you request that, okay? So if you will, please do so if you need to. Those of you that are doing dual enrollment, this is the tab that you will go to. You have the dual enrollment with USCL. When you click on it, it will go to information in regards to USCL. And if you will notice, the information that is on here all deals with the fall semester that is already started. Also notice that the dual enrollment student disclaimer form is something that you do have to turn in to Ms. Watts or myself if you plan on taking courses at USCL. And this is the list of the approved dual credit courses if you would like for the courses to count on your transcript. There are some of you that are doing dual enrollment with your technical college, and this is the information for that, for your technical college as well. So we do have that information, especially those of you that are going through our health science program. You will be doing that through your health science 4 clinicals. Now also we have a parent student tab here. This is where we have all of our Google Classrooms. Most of you have already joined. Freshmen, I know that you may not have joined at this point, but we want you to join. Most everyone joined last year, but if you did not join last year or you're new to Beaufort High School, please make sure that you join our classrooms. This is where you will get information in regards to special events that may be coming up, things that may be happening with possibly ring ceremony, prom, but it will also have things that will deal with guidance as well. Now, some of you may want to, there are seniors that go to work, and this is a form that we request you to complete, and the employer has to complete. It's called a work-based learning form. There are some juniors and seniors that may need a letter of recommendation. This is where you would find the form to complete. You will turn this form in to whomever you're asking for that letter of recommendation for, and they will actually be able to write the letter of recommendation after you turn this in. Several of you last year, through the pandemic, these are things that we've added to the website because we got a lot of questions about. One of the questions was club GPA requirements, undergraduate GPA requirements, and graduation cords and medallions, and what those look like. For those of you that are already there, seniors, these are things that you may want to know. But for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, these are things that you're looking toward, working toward. Just like Mr. Bell talked about yesterday, look at your end and know what your end is. And that end is being able to go into our multi-purpose building and have the senior signing day, just like you guys saw yesterday, with those seniors sitting at the table and signing whether they were going to work, going to college, going into the military. That is your end, and that is your goal. ACT, SAT, some of you want to go ahead and start with your testing. Juniors and seniors mostly, this is the site that you can do this. Basically, it's just clicking on the link and it'll take you right to this. Our college advisor, Ms. Hun, she has actually created the FAFSA tab. And this is actually for seniors when they get ready to fill out the FAFSA, which will come up October the 1st. And she's got some great videos here that will help you, help your parents in filling this out as well. We also have college planning. Ms. Hun has been working on this for seniors. This is where you will find a lot of the scholarship information. When you see important dates and announcements, that's where Ms. Hun will actually put a lot of the college like virtual tours and things, because a lot of the colleges are actually going to virtual tours now. So those are things that she has actually put here on the website. And also you will see the BHS testing calendar. As soon as that is updated, Ms. Leo will actually be putting the testing calendar there. That will include MAP testing, EOC testing, the school SAT, ACT test, those types of things is where you will find that located. Now at this time, I just want to, let each and every one of you know that we know that times are different, but we also know that as a family, we're here for each other. We're here to, as a counseling department, we're here to celebrate your successes, but we're also here to walk along beside you and help you through whatever you may be going through. There may be some of you that when you come to school, those of you that are in person, you may not have school supplies. We keep school supplies and guidance. If there are things that you need, just simply email us and let us know. We will email you and let you know where we will bring those items, or when you can pick those items up when you're leaving the building. But we will make sure that you have what you need. There are some of you that leave your house so quickly that you may have forgotten to put your deodorant on. Maybe you've forgotten to brush your teeth. We have those things that we try to keep in guidance as well. We have book bags if you need book bags for those of you that are in person. Now, those of you that are virtual, even though you're virtual and you're not in the building, you still have needs as well. And if there are things that we can do for any of you, please do not hesitate to email us and reach out to us, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help. And as Mr. Bell talked with you guys yesterday about finding opportunity, as a counseling staff, we want to encourage each and every one of you to find your opportunity, because they are there. I want you to handle each and every day, every challenge that comes your way. I want you to see it as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to be better, and an opportunity to continue to reach toward being that ideal Beaufort graduate. Thank each and every one of you for today. Again, I do want to welcome you here, and I'm so glad to get the 2020-2021 school year. Hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon, and go Jackets.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Coffin. Wonderful words. And I don't know that I could say any better than she wrapped up there. But just remember, see the opportunity. It exists. We're here to walk alongside of you as we get you towards your goal in spite of any challenges that may pop up. We know that they're going to be there, but it's how we work through that together this year and maintain that sense of focus on where we are to get you. All right, that's our job, that's our goal. All right, so that being said, just remember to keep finding that opportunity, keep working with us. Y'all, we got this. Together, everyone accomplishes more. That's one thing I thought about this year when I think of the word team, okay? We're going to be fine. We're going to be exactly where we need to be. That doesn't mean we're not going to fail together. That doesn't mean that we're not going to experience some challenges, but we will work through it. And I know for certain that we will show that Jacket pride, and we will be better because of it as a Jacket family. If you ever need anything, reach out to us. You have our emails as well as the phone number here at Buford High School. We love you. We care about you. We'll see you soon. Go Jackets.